rah. All right.
Hey guys, I'm here with Charles today, our Mid-Atlantic sales manager for Niman Ranch, here to discuss what's going on the grill this summer, our CAB grass-fed brisket.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Excited today to talk about a cut that a lot of folks tend to struggle with, and one that can be super rewarding when you take your time, get the right prep and the right ingredients on it. Turns out something that's going to make the whole family get pretty excited about.
So Charles, when it comes down to briskets, what are some of the key factors you look into for your personal picks?
So I like to have a nice size. We want the weight to be somewhere in the 12 to 15 pound range ideally. You're going to get about a 10 or 11 hour cook out of that.
Sure.
You want to have a nice strong point up top. That's going to protect your brisket from the smoke as it's being cooked in an offset smoker preferably.
Sure.
But you want to have a nice kind of almost, aerodynamic shape to the brisket. And we're going to spend a little time after we get this out kind of showing you how we create more of that through the trimming process. So the knife I'm using today is kind of a custom style knife, so kind of a mix between what they would call like a scimitar, like a butchering knife, and also a boning knife or breaking knife. Some would call that a fillet knife. What I like about it is it's got a nice weight to it. This is made up in New England at a forge called 314. It's something they kind of custom made. It's got a nice wide handle, and it does a nice job of being able to create those nice long strokes we want to not chop at the brisket. So this brisket looks pretty good. Someone obviously did a pretty nice job trimming it already. So we're not going to have a ton to do here, but we are going to start kind of with this front. There's a really hard level layer of fat. So we're going to go ahead and trim some of that off just to allow that smoke to penetrate the brisket a little bit better. So I'll start here and kind of work off this front corner. Trying not to create too many sharp points. And we will keep this product that we can add back later to a sausage or another ingredient, but we definitely don't want to throw that out.
So Charles, what makes your grass-fed cattle so different? What's so unique about it?
So this program, they select specifically the animals for the genetics. And when you focus on genetics of an animal, they're able to make sure that we get an animal that's going to do really, really well out on pasture, staying with grass its entire life. All cattle will be on grass, but usually for the last 3 to 4.5 months, just depending on the program, the animal will go onto a grain-based diet. Gives it a really nice finish on the product. And all this material, as we just talked about, is going to get used anyways. So, don't be shy to take down some of this. Also creating more of an aerodynamic space for that smoke to move across. So anywhere the smoke will catch, it prevents it from giving it a nice bark and smoke flavor across the brisket. Not everybody does it the same, but I like to use, I know it's silly, but a French's mustard. So just a nice way to help have a binder. Along with that, I'll also be using today some of the Spice Wallace Sicilian sea salt. We're also going to do Southern Foods exclusive. This is their coffee rub. I love this. Use it on all kinds of meats that I roast or smoke. Gives a really nice flavor profile. And then I need a really, really kind of coarse ground pepper, and nothing really does the job quite like a nice Spice Wallace coarse ground. This is going to create a really nice bark on the edge of that piece of brisket. We're going to make sure that our mustard is blended back together. Just want to give it a little shake, and then we will take it and apply it on both sides. We're going to do one side at a time for this process. So give it a pretty liberal amount on top. So we'll just take it and rub it across the brisket. This is going to really help us kind of set the bark as far as the seasonings go. I'm going to start with salt. This is the easiest to get going, and we want to make sure we get it on the meat. So we're just going to kind of liberally sprinkle that across the top. Then we will come with a little bit of the coffee rub. And I'm not going to go heavy with this because I'm going to continue to add a little extra pepper, but I do want to build that flavor profile into the brisket. It's really going to come out nicely at the end. But now we'll put the pepper on, and we're going to go the heaviest with the pepper. We really want to put that on. Now we've got our mustard on the other side. Just rub that in quickly. So we'll follow the same process we followed on the other side, starting with the salt, being that that's the one we want to get closest to the meat to make sure we can taste all these wonderful flavors that we're about to build on top. Now we're going to take this cling wrap, we're going to bring it over the brisket. We want to kind of tuck it under from this side. We'll actually pick the brisket up, which will allow us to kind of make a nice tight seal around it the best you can manage. And I kind of like to just do an initial cover up as best I can. Then I'll pull that brisket around and get a good cover that way. You're just kind of trying to really make sure that we're getting this nice and tightly wound up. We don't want any air getting in. We want to let that just marinate in all those wonderful flavors we just put in there. That's how we do brisket prep. Follow for more and we'll have the finished product.